1. All right, everybody, welcome back to Dokkan Awakenings. I am joined today by someone who is, typically not here, but he's here today. Say hi, Will.
Yo, what's going on, everybody?
Unfortunately, Dale is not with us. Dale is possibly dealing with something. I have no clue. He could be trying to stay warm because right now we are dealing with a blizzard, which happens once every 12 years.
Yeah, it is. It is pretty cold. Doesn't happen that often.
Not this kind of
At
cold.
least.
Not even snow. We get like an inch of snow every year, and then every once in a while. 2009 was the last time we had 15 inches of snow. We had I had no power for 2 weeks.
Yeah, it was bad.
But unfortunately, like I said, Dale's not here. But today we have a sponsor. Will, what's our sponsor, Will?
Our sponsor is sometimes when I'm playing this game, right? There's this little thing that comes down on certain characters, and it says active skill, and I'm not exactly sure what that entails.
Okay. Active skills are I say brand new, they're about 2 years old at this point. They came in 2000 year 4 celebration? Yeah, year 4 celebration with the LR Super Saiyan 4s. Active skills have a variety of things they can do. Some of them can do a lot of damage, like I'm looking at LR Super Saiyan 4 Goku. His active skill massively raises attack and causes ultimate damage to enemies. So this is basically one free hit. There are numerous units that have this, but not all units are just one big bumbow of attack. You have other ones. Let's look at Merge Zamasu. Wherever Merge Zamasu is. Merge Zamasu! I don't have him rainbowed, that's why. I'm looking in... I have everything in tags. But units like Merge Zamasu actually transform the unit. You have the ability to activate it whenever you want when the conditions are met. And each unit has a different kind of condition. Like Super Saiyan 4 Goku. You get the active skill 4 turns into battle. Then you have Zamasu here, who gets it on the 5th turn. He can transform into his nasty purple-armed big punch form, which, you really don't want to do. Some units also have different abilities based on their situation. Like take LR AGL Gohan. What he does is he transforms a unit and completely has a whole new passive as opposed to that. But it also alters his unit entirely. Because normal Super Saiyan Gohan raises defense on Super, and his Super Saiyan 2 form, which is what he transforms into, does not. And so basically he gets all kinds of passives, lets him do a whole lot of damage. And some of them are very stupid on how they have to be met. Like that LR AGL Gohan. You have to have an android android unit on the team and fall below 58% HP, I believe, is the actual precise number. Or you can have an android 16 and you can activate it anytime if you fall below 58% HP. But not all of them do transform. We have another one, LR Tech Gohan. We got a lot of LR Gohans, Will, now that I think about it.
Lots of LR Gohans.
But that actually boosts the unit. LR Tech Gohan, who has probably one of the longest passives in the game, his active skill gives him an additional 12 ki and 58% attack for that turn. So whatever number you have onto it, it just stacks up and makes them hit even harder. And then you have the final kind, which are support units. LRB Pan, her active skill allows you for one full rotation to boost everyone's attack by 33%, and it's a separate multiplier. So the multiplication is a really weird thing. So let's say if you have 100,000 attack, you put it out, activate the multiplier, it's not going to give you 33,000 attack. It's going to be a completely separate multiplier, which is really weird. And each one is truly unique, except for the Super Saiyan 4s. They were built right off each other. But, yeah. Does that answer your question, Will?
That does. Perfect.
All right. Will, what are we going to be talking about today? Because the person who gave us the idea is not here.
Today, we are going to be talking about units that need a Dokkan Awakening.
Oh, yeah, that's right. Man, I need to make my list, don't I? Okay. All right, list is done.
That'd be a good idea.
List is done. All right, we're good. So, yeah, there are a lot of units in this game that have been around for a long, long, long time that do not have Dokkan Awakens, and then you have new units that should have been Dokkan Awakened to make them better. So hopefully Will has a honorary mention. Will, do you have an honorary mention?
I do. I'm gonna be completely honest with the honorary mention. I just picked a random unit that isn't Dokkan Awakened, and it is STR GT Android 18. Does not have a Dokkan Awakening.
Okay. I don't know if I have her.
Yeah, I mean, I feel like if they did her Dokkan Awakening right, she would be able to do pretty good on like the androids team because it is sort of lackluster in some areas, but they would have to sort of rework her a little bit.
Yeah. I actually don't have her. That's one of the few units in this game I do not have.
Really.
Yeah. Is she free to
Like
play?
I couldn't tell you.
Okay. What does her passive actually do, since I don't know her unit right offhand?
Her passive is defense plus 70%, attack plus 70% for 3 turns after receiving attack.
Okay. So she could actually... So naturally she's going to be defensive. So if she got an awakening...
Yeah.
Hey, Will, out of curiosity, do you happen to have explanation of what the unit could do after they awaken?
No.
Okay, so I guess that's just me. I'm going over
Gonna
to
be you are, man.
Well, I guess I can help come up with a thing. We just got to read passes back and forth. But it sounds like she would naturally be defensive, so she'd probably get 100% defense naturally.
Probably.
And did you say she gets attack and defense, or just attack whenever she's hit?
Attack and defense.
And so yeah, she could be honestly a big tank. Have her get 200%,
Yeah, so
200% defense and then 100% attack, and possibly
so
give her guard.
She gets defense automatically. The attack is for 3 turns after receiving an attack.
Oh, okay. So she would be. Oh, okay. I thought she had an additional defense on top of that. So yeah, she'd be. I feel like 100% and possibly a support. She'd either be
Probably.
an android support, or I guess she wouldn't be. She could technically be on the Earthlings category because she was human originally.
Technically.
But she'd be an interesting one, or have her paired up with a Krillin, any kind of GT Krillin unit, and have him go.
Yeah.
But she'd be a fun one, I think. I gotta go get her. Oh, I know her. She has a short hair, doesn't she?
Yep, that's the one.
Is she holding a Destructo Disc perchance, or is she shooting towards the screen?
She is kicking the screen in her SR form.
Oh, she's only SR?
No, SSR, I mean.
Okay, I was about to...
I misspoke. I was
about to say, because I know she had... I thought she had a... Now I think about it. Alright, so am I good to go with mine?
You are good to go.
Alright, I'm going to completely blow Will out of the water because he was the SR. I'm actually going to start off with a rare unit.
A rare? What?
A unit that is naturally rare. Because I honestly started out and I was looking at units because we have a Dokkan Win Discord, which if you go follow our podcast Instagram, Dokkan_Win_podcast, go check it out. Or we actually have a Discord where we talk about units, and now we actually race on a roulette system. And one of the roulette systems is you have to take an SR or lower unit in the team. And so I was looking through and I saw a rare unit I got from the last World Tournament called King Choppa, who, if he got an awakening, even to an SSR, could be a beast. Because, Will, do you know what his passive is?
What? This is going to be interesting. What's his passive?
This rare unit, who's a rare naturally, SR at most, has attack,
a natural rare.
Attack plus 120% for the first attack.
What?
I am not kidding. On a rare unit, it's one attack. He gets one free attack of 120%. Which, honestly,
what?
this is my honorable mention, just because I feel like I had to talk about this, because this would have been mind-boggling back in the day had I actually looked at his unit. Which is...
That?
Yeah.
What?
Yeah. So I was honestly looking at him, and he looks. Theoretically, he could be built like the LR, not the LR. There's an LR Roshi, but we're not talking about that Roshi. We're talking about Tech Roshi, who has the Mafuba, the Evil Containment Wave, who gets attack plus 628% for one attack. You know the unit I'm talking about, right, Will?
Oh my! I would have to see his card art.
He came out when Kid Goku came out. He seals, stuns, and does everything on his first
You
attack.
said it's the who again?
Tech Roshi.
Tech Roshi?
Tech Roshi.
I think I know who you're talking about.
Yeah, his TUR gives him 628% attack for one attack, which is how this guy is kind of built. So literally what he would need to be, I'd assume he'd go up higher, so give him 150% attack for one attack only, and then either make him I wouldn't say a support, but I'd say give him defense.
Mm-hmm.
And if they boosted him to a UR rating, actually, if he wanted to be SR, no, he'd only be able to go to SSR. If he got him to an UR rating, then he'd probably have 180% attack for 2 attacks and probably 120% defense. Which, honestly, and just the 120% is the whole reason I brought him up. That's the only reason he got an honorable mention, is because of that high number for being a rare that has been in the game for a very long time.
That's ridiculous. Are we
Mm-hmm.
sure they didn't just like randomly put that in, like just tweak them? Like,
I mean, I remember. I don't think so. I mean, granted, I have some units. I've apparently had him for a long time. I had a different one for a long time, which is interesting. But yeah, for whatever reason, World Tournament units are surprisingly good. They just need to be higher than a rare or an SR. Because I have another World Tournament unit that is SR that I'm going to be talking about. Actually, 2 of them. But yeah.
I would have no idea about World Tournament because I hate it. It's like the bane of my existence in
I
Dokkan.
literally only do it to get the LRs, and I got to go in and do another round next time so I can get more dupes for my Demon King Piccolo. Yay! But all right, so that is our honorable mention, and so now you kind of, for those who didn't understand, now you kind of hopefully get a grasp of what we're going to be doing. So, Will, start us off with your number 5, brother.
My number 5 is STR Kuliza.
Hey, he was one I thought about too. Okay.
He's just like such a cool character concept. Honestly, like his card art is really cool too. But also, if he was awakened, and they didn't do him dirty like they have done cooler units in the past,
except for Strength Cooler.
Except for Strength Cooler,
and physical, even physical Cooler is still a beast.
But his natural passive is attack plus 70% when performing super. So I mean, they might give him like some defense, but I feel like they would just boost that attack and just make him a glass cannon.
Yeah. I mean, honestly, that's what I was looking at. Even because I've seen him get to like quite a high number on on the Wicked Bloodline category. Yeah.
Yeah.
I've seen him get to a high number on that. So I feel like even if they boost it up to 90% and then have take Family Kamehameha AGL Gohan.
Mm-hmm.
If they had him built, if they built him like that, he would have basically go up from 70% attack to 90 attack and defense, and that would truly be a very good unit, I think, and possibly give him a chance to raise attack. Otherwise, they'd possibly make him a support for the Wicked Bloodlines, because he's 2 powerful Wicked Bloodline characters merged into some surprisingly beefcakey version.
Yeah.
But he'd honestly be an interesting one. And just to see the art, truly a lot of these Dragon Ball Fusion units need awakenings.
They do.
Like, you got, say, Whirus. The Barlock got one because it's Goku Bardock. You got Chalmon. And please, if Chalmon gets an awakening, lower the stupid damage he does to you. 20% is stupid. He's legitimately the worst card in Dokkan.
Wait. Say that again?
Chowmon.
Chowmon does damage to you? I don't think I have him. What
Okay,
is he?
Chowmon is physical, and what he does is
Okay.
he lowers your HP by 20% on super.
What?
Yes, because he's Chiaotzu and a Cyberman together, and both of them have some explosion that do it. So that's the only reason I think they had it. It's like, here, let's add a gag unit. Boom, take off 20% of your HP.
While sacrificing 20%?
He's an
Good lord.
he's an AOE too, but it does not constitute him being.
Yeah, there's no way that should be like that.
No, it's honestly a gag.
Alright, well, what's your number 5?
My number 5 is another low rarity unit,
Okay.
and that is Ox King from the World Tournament. He's a natural SR, and he is honestly, even as an SR, an okay unit. He just needs to get to the UR because he'd have higher stats than what he can actually achieve now, because he really doesn't get super high stats, especially with his passive. Will, do you know what his passive is?
I have no idea.
This first half is just for him. Defense plus 150%.
What?
For an SR, he raises his defense on super too.
By how much?
It's raised. This is low, so I think it's 20%. He doesn't have a massive, which I'm sure it would be. And then he also is a Dragon Ball Saga 2 key attack and defense plus 30% support. So, aside for his monkey arms, he's a really good unit. Because it looks like his picture of his art right now, his arm literally is longer than his leg and his torso combined. But, yeah, in a unit like this, you give him the ability to raise defense. Dale said he's going to pull a Will on this one. Well, I guess it is just going to be Yumi. He woke up like 10 minutes ago. The only thing we do is start over, and I don't think we want to start over since we've gone this far in. All of what, 15 minutes? But,
just keep going.
Yeah, if he reached UR rarity, he'd have the ability to access the dupe system, which is what I was meaning the low stats. So that defense was 150% is good on any normal unit, but considering he really does not, you know what I'm going to do right now? I'm just going to go max him out because I can, and I'm going to talk about it. Just the unit itself, like I truly think is a beast. And if he got an awakening, he'd probably get 180% defense and become probably a 3 key and 40% support for the category. Which, honestly, for being a World Tournament unit and starting out as SR, would be a really good unit. Like, can you deny that, Will?
No, that would be a really good unit.
He'd be powerful. Alright, these are his...
No, continue.
These are his max stats, which is the reason why, though he has that kind of high passive, he is not as good as he could be. Units need the high stats, high HP, high attack, high defense, combined with their passives. Like, take Demon King Piccolo gets like a 300% attack boost naturally. However, he only has, I think, a 13,000 attack at rainbow level. So that does not constitute being like a 4 million attack stat. Though it's a high stat, the numbers just equate to make him being lower. That's why units like LR Jiren, who have the 200% attack, combined with his like 19,000 attack, are monstrous.
Which I still never pulled.
I didn't pull them either, but you know what? I got 500 gold coins. I'm ready. But, so basically, if he got those kind of stats, he'd get an additional, I'd say, 3,000. So at least then he'd be 6,000 defense, even in this state right now, because he's a 3280 as his defense. So you put, even right now, that'd be about 6,000, and that plus 150% defense would be a bit bigger number, probably put him, even in SR state, probably close to around 90,000. And he raises defense on super, And if he got an awakening, he'd probably massively raise defense or greatly, whichever one is. It's not 50%, and since we're on global, the numbers haven't changed, and it's not like this is 25 yet, this isn't 30 yet, because they've done that over on JP. We now know what number actually equals what number.
Mm-hmm.
But that right there, he would be a beast of a unit. He just needs an awakening with all the stuff he does. He's just not good now, but if he got an awakening, he'd probably be a very top tier card and could make Dragon Ball Saga somewhat decent again.
Yeah.
Yeah. So, all right, your turn, Will. Unless you have any comments on my Ox King.
No, I'm still like, it's funny to think like they have that good of a passive, but they're still not good units because of their just flat stats.
Oh yeah, it gets better. It gets better, let me tell you.
This next one I picked just because it's a fusion card.
Does it start with a W?
It does not.
Oh, okay.
Just one, I like the art, and two, I like the characters that fused. And I would like to see this card be good. That's literally my only reasoning. Janembu, Tech SSR Janembu.
I don't know if I have Janembu, actually. All right, go on and explain, and I'll tell me about you. But Janembu lowers attack, doesn't he?
Yes, attacked enemy's attack.
Oh, I do have Janembu.
Minus 30%.
I do have Janembu. Okay. That's interesting.
And I don't really know what they would do with him, like, afterwards. I just like the character.
And honestly, it's a really neat little art. It's not something you ever expect. Like,
yeah.
That's why Fusions, as stupid as it honestly sounded, is truly a cool concept because it puts this and this together. Any two units can fuse. That's why I have units like Wirus, Karoli, Chelmon, Janembu.
Stupid Chelmon.
Whenever we do our top 10 hated units or top hated units, you better believe he's going to be number one.
Be on there.
He's going to be number one. I'm calling it now. Unless Dokkan decides to come out with another stupid unit, it's like, oh, we lower your HP by 50% on Super. But anyway. Honestly, now I'm looking at it, he looks like he could possibly be, because this is from the era whenever they didn't give a whole lot of key, which goes on to our least favorite things Dokkan has done. Speaking of, Will, I actually went back and watched some old Dokkan videos, and people used to get excited whenever they did 78,000 damage.
Dude, it is, like, mind-boggling to see the difference.
Oh, yeah. And even whenever... And you could get hit for 50,000 damage, and that would be a one-shot.
Yeah.
But anyway, back to this. I truly think if he did, there's another unit I'm thinking of that kind of was built the same, and that is Buff Boo. Buff Boo, I believe... Let me look at him. He's Easy Aid right now. So let's go to his actual SSR. Tech, Attack, and Defense plus 60 is what his TUR is. And so if they TUR'd your Janembu, he'd probably go to like how this one has his TUR, Tech Key plus 2, HP Attack and Defense plus 70. So he'd probably be a 2-key 70% lead. And then passive-wise is what would be kind of interesting. Because they could theoretically keep it the 30% attack and also add defense, and then give him his own attack and defense, and probably 50% attack and defense. Just because a unit like these units, though, do not work in a lot of new events now because they're immune to attack and defense lowering. You take something like that, what I just said, into like Super Battle Road, he is going to be good. That's why I take units like Tech Whis, who's not a good unit, into Super Battle Road because he has a 50% chance to stun for one turn on hit. And a unit like this lowers attack. Yeah, I've talked about it before. I took on Extreme Super Battle Road, Extreme Strength, with Dual Omegas, who passively lower enemies' attack by 40%, and I beat it first try because of that. So you have something like this, it could make, at least my experience with Extreme Tech, a heck of a lot easier. But he'd honestly be interesting, and then possibly give him an art. The TUR art could be interesting too.
Yeah, that would be a cool thing. Like, what route would they go?
Yeah, it's for all we know, they could probably make him a support unit. We have no clue.
Mm-hmm.
So am I good to go for my what is that number 4?
You're good to go for your number 4.
Is it number 4?
It is number 4.
Okay. Typically, we always have Dale there doing something stupid, so that keeps me on track. But we don't need Dale. Finally, let him take a break because Dale is the second hardest working one out of all of us. Yeah, third.
Let's see how it is.
Hey, you haven't been here all the time, so that's why I'm not saying it. That's why I'm not saying you're second.
Hey, I have had life. I'm sorry.
I have had life too.
Yes, and I understand that.
Anyway, so my next one is also is another SR that comes from the World Tournament.
Oh, good lord, you and these SRs, man.
Well, since I do the World Tournament, I see a lot of units that actually need these awakenings because they are good in their state. My next unit, I was originally tied between this and Ranfan, but I went with Invisible Man.
Invisible Man.
Invisible Man, whose art is not invisible, he's covered in Roshi's nose blood. So yeah, gotta love Dragon Ball, everybody. He is AGL key +2, all stats plus 30%, which is nothing to sneeze at, no pun intended. Causes supreme damage, lowers attack and defense, which is good. However, his passive, which is a lot of what make these units, he has a 70% chance to dodge all attacks.
70?
A great chance, which is 70%. He gets attack plus 30% with each attack dodged up to 120 and disables enemy guard. So that right there, we just got LR UI, full UI Goku, who has the 70% chance to dodge all the time. That's why, and he's good. Candy Vegeta is good. That's why Tech Gogeta, Super Saiyan 4 Gogeta is one of the best units. It's super wise because he has a 70% chance to counter supers. So putting 70% dodge on any unit makes them a beast. So even
automatically.
Yes. And this is another situation where low stats kill the unit. Because at 120% attack on a 6,650 attack is not going to equate to 1,000,000 damage. And that's where, unfortunately, a lot of units are now reaching that. So if you put him to a UR level, possibly considering how broken some of the World Tournament units really are, could have probably 150% attack. It'd be like Bergamo. No, Bergamo is like 120. They could boost him to a 300% attack like they did with Bergamo. And then make it even a UR would make him probably one of the most top powerful units in the game, just statistically speaking, because of 70% chance to dodge with 300% attack. And disables enemy guard, so it's not super effective. It just does a little bit more damage, as opposed to, say, super effective does a 250,000 attack stat and actually hits for 500,000 damage. This one does 250,000 attack stat and hits for like 350,000 damage. So that's all disables guard does. So that part's not the lackluster. It's just a 70% chance to dodge and the up to 120% attack. That is what drew me to this unit. And even if Will's hearing some of these units for the very first time, as far as I know. So it's honestly could be surprising to him, too, just hearing how well built these units are. Because if this was on a Dokkan Fest, this is like Dokkan Fest kind of passive, just not as long.
Yeah, it really is.
And so you imagine that on a Dokkan Fest. Let's even put it on let's take LR, not LR, a lot of LRs in the game. Super Saiyan 3 AGL Goku. You put that passive on him, he's going to be, especially like even before EZA, he's going to be hitting for probably 2 to 3 million whenever he's fully built up. So that's why this is so amazing, especially with the King Choppa and the Ox King. These are like Dokkanfest numbers of passives, but the units themselves are built with such low stats that they are not bueno.
Yeah.
So yeah, that's my, was that number 4? Is that number 4?
Number 4.
Okay. All right, so Will, what's your number 3? Yeah, number 3.
My number 3
is who? Tell me. I'm impatient.
It's STR Super Saiyan 2 Teen Trunks.
Hey! Okay. I'm looking at him.
Do you have him too?
No, okay. Honestly, at this point, it's just a running joke that this unit does not have an awakening. So I did not put him in the list.
It really is. Like, how old is he? Like,
he is old. I think he probably came out.
He's so old.
There's a chance he came out whenever the LR androids came out. I actually do not know when this unit came out, but he's 4 years old at least.
He is old. Like, let me look it up.
Oh, anyway, for those, while Will looks it up, I'll read off the passive, and then I'll see. Since Will's done this, he probably has a little bit more. He gives all types attack plus 25%. No, he would be about 4 or 5 years old because that's back in that old era before HP and stuff was a thing.
Mm-hmm.
He does supreme damage and raises his attack for 3 turns, which is nothing to sneeze at. And he's a support for strength with attack and defense plus 25%, which is okay by nowadays, but with him not being any higher, it's not. So
yeah.
Did you find him, Will?
Working on it.
How about this? What I'll do, you look it up after this. We talk about the unit, and then we'll actually, while I'm talking about my next one, you look it up.
Okay.
So talk about your. So I explained the unit. How would you have this unit built, Will, if you got a TUR? If
he had a TUR.
Yes.
Which is probably never gonna happen.
No, we're just gonna wait for Cell Saga Trunks to get his own Dokkanfest, and then boom, he's gonna get some monster awakening with like 400% attack, 200% defense, high chance to crit.
Yeah, I honestly would see him getting like a support role. Really, it would be cool to see a support Trunks, like a key plus 3 in whatever, probably like Hybrid Saiyans attack and defense plus like 50%.
Possibly. I mean, at that point, it'd be weird to have him be a dual. I mean, he'd be like the Vados, but have him be strength and Hybrid Saiyans, you mean?
Yeah.
I mean, that'd be an interesting way to go about it. Like, make him a lot better.
I also found his release date.
Oh, boy. 2016?
August 6th, 2016.
5 years ago, almost. It's the 14th. It's Valentine's Day. Will and I don't like each other, so that's why I haven't said Happy Valentine's Day to him. But Happy Valentine's Day, everybody. This is going to be released
Happy
after.
Valentine's Day, everybody.
But, he's an old unit, so 5 years old almost, and he still hasn't gotten Awakening. But granted, we had units like Toa, Mira, and Demigra who had the same situation.
I honestly didn't know that Demigra had a Dokkan Awakening, and I was gonna put him on my list.
You went to go look? It's like, oh, Demigra doesn't have an Awakening. Holy cow, he does!
I went to go look. Like, literally, I was like, oh, Demigra, I've talked about this unit. I like this character. Okay. Wait, what?
Yeah.
I was shook.
Yeah, him.
I need to go awaken him.
Oh, I do too. I just haven't yet. But, honestly, whenever I was looking at the Trunks, I'm going to have a lot of World Tournament units on there just because of the variety of how those units are built. I actually had one unit pop into my mind as soon as I saw his original passive. In the World Tournament, I think this is one of the first World Tournaments that I really kind of tried to go ham on and didn't get him, is AGL Cooler, who is a 30% support.
Mm-hmm.
His TUR keeps him as a support. He doesn't give key, but he gives AGL type key, attack and defense. AGL type attack and defense plus 40%. and that's a high number on a world tournament. But he also has more. He gets launches up high chance to launch up to 2 additional attacks. So he has a chance. So basically, he's at most you can have him with 2 supers and 2 normals. So you'd want him built kind of with crit, and he gets attack plus 5% with each attack performed up to 50%. So I feel like if they did the Trunks, they'd do something like that. Have him high chance to crit, and then possibly let him have more than 1 attack. Not building up attack, probably give him his own 100% attack and defense on top of his 30% support and 3 key. And then you do that, he'd be a very viable unit, and even now by nowadays standards. Because the stats, the support, strength. If they did go the support way, I feel like they'd honestly they'd get rid of the strength type and probably build him like the Vados, where you could have like 3 or 4 categories that he can support. And if you're on the categories, he's given like 80% support. Because Vados gives like 60% support to physical Beerus because he's on every single category. Fun fact. But I don't know. He'd be an interesting one on how he would be built.
Yeah. It would be a sight to see. That's for sure.
It really would. We just got to sit here and wait for the next 5 years. He's probably going to be... Here's what's going to happen. I'm going to slide tangent. We're going to get to the end of Dokkan's life, and this Trunks is still not going to be awoken. And they're going to finally release an awakening for him, and that's going to bring Dokkan back to life. Oh my gosh, this Trunks finally got awoken! Yeah!
They're going to make him like the best unit in the game, and everybody's going to come flooding back with their 100% STR Trunks.
Yeah, and give him an easy A2.
Oh my lord.
All at once. Give him like that 400% attack. Alright, so am I good for my number 3?
You're good to go.
Hey, Will, you want to take a guess what rarity this next unit's going to be?
An SR.
No, that's my number 2.
Don't tell me it's a rare?
No, this is actually... Okay, I actually am going to go with a UR this time.
Okay.
This is number 3, right?
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so this is honestly one I had a tough time trying to think of because we got fusion units that a lot of them do not have it, and I'm going to say right now, I'm going to call some of Dale's units that he would have guessed, that he would have said. He would have had Super Saiyan 4, Goku and Gohan and Bardock, without a doubt, because he's sitting here griping that these units that hit 2 million attack stat and UR rating aren't the good, they did it the wicked, they greeted no. But I truly had a lot of fusions units, especially with the heroes, because I was sitting there debating between Xeno Gotenks, the base form, Gohonks, Vegeks as some of the heroes. I also was thinking that Baba Shop Super Saiyan 2 Vegeta, the one who builds up defense or attack. He's the first one that with each attack received, you get a certain amount of attack. However, I have talked about this unit before. It annoys Dale that I like this unit so much. I'm going to talk about our Lord and Savior, the strongest fusion of all, Whirus.
Yes.
I hope you don't have Whirus on your list, Will.
It's my next one. It's number 2.
Oh, I can swap out then. All right, we'll let you talk about Whirus. I'm going to hop over...
No,
I'm going to hop over to...
We can do...
I'm going to hop over to Vegeks. I'm hopping over to Vegeta. Okay. He's one that I have. Okay, Vegeks came out last year on the Heroes banner, and, Heroes is just literally, let's put these 2 characters together. It's like fusions. It's fan service, basically. He is 60% 2 key to strength types, all stats. He raises defense on super and causes supreme damage to enemy. Attack and defense plus 70% when performing a super attack. Chance of performing a critical hit with each super attack performed up to 35%. So after 5 attack supers, he's going to have a 35% chance to crit on top. So he's going to be naturally, it's weird statistics. And launches an additional super attack when the enemy is in attack down or defense down status. I've been running him on the crossover team because crossover team is one of my personal favorite teams. It's just a fun team to run. And he's not a bad unit. His raising defense makes him good. He would need to go to like a greatly raises defense just to kind of keep him viable, just because, you know, if you get supered before he actually gets a chance to super, you're going to be taking a lot of damage. So having him greatly raised would be okay. Possibly on his passive, he'd probably be boosted up to 100% attack and defense when performing a super attack, which is normal for a unit like this, at least a 70, unless they boost it up to 90, because of his chance to crit, which would probably go up to 40, it'd be my guess. Let's say 42, just because Heroes is really weird with numbers. It'd be 42 or 49, just because of how weird it is. That's why Supreme Kai Tai in the tech one has a 42, can support units by 42%. And honestly, that's the only thing you would change. The additional attack, or maybe have him built like have him have an additional attack if for each one. So if they're an attack down and defense down, he gets 2 additional attacks. Kind of like Kale and Caulifla. They can have up to 5 attacks per turn. The LR can. So have him get the ability to have 4 attacks per turn and have him just raise defense on every single one. That way he's not going to be hurting if he gets supered, let's say 2 turns later. Because at that point, say if you are taking on, let's say, a Legendary Goku event, for until you get to Tech, I believe Tech, he can have attack and defense lowered, and you have him paired with another Heroes unit, which isn't on the list, Gohonks, or let's take, I don't know, Topo or some unit like that. He's going to be able to naturally do 3 supers per turn, not even including his hidden potential. So that right there would make him like a Kale or a Caulifla unit. Just all the amount of building up, building, and boom, he's good. That and his team, crossover needs, these kind of units need a little more love than what they have. So, yeah. That's all I have for him, honestly. He's truly, all those Heroes units are good units. I have not really seen a bad one. Oh, hey, look. If you had him paired with the AGL's base form Gotenks, the Xeno one, you'd be able to get it done because his Gotenks lowers attack and defense on super. So have him super first, and then have the Jix do it next rotation. Or next attack. But, yeah. Now we can go on to our number 2. Will?
Number 2 is Weirus.
Ah, our Lord and Savior, the strongest thing itself.
Exactly. Honestly, I want to hear what you have, like, what do you think they would do with his passive first?
Let's see here. What about leader skill? Because he'd probably go up to 3 key and 90%. Yeah, that's what he'd go to. Supreme damage greatly lowers defense. That'd probably stay the same. Probably just up the damage. See, passive. Let's see. He was the first dual orb changer in the game.
Yep.
So, theoretically, they could leave him as a dual orb changer, or, and hear me out, all you people out there that are probably about to click off as soon as I say this, hear me out. Make him a trio orb changer. Yes, I know. Woo! That is preposterous. But we thought dual orb changing was preposterous, and now we have, I think, 3 in the game? 3 units at
That's true.
I could be wrong. I know for a fact we have a super Mr. Boo from World Tournament, another World Tournament, and Weirus for sure changed 2 orbs. I can't. I'm thinking there's a 3rd one, but I cannot think of it right off the top of my head. But have him be a trio orb changer, and have him. Let's see, he's tech and intelligence, tech and int, and probably add strength in there too.
Ooh,
yeah,
that would be one crazy turn.
It really would. And then you have, because main reason Weirus was good when he first came out because you could run him with intelligence LR Gohan, and have that Gohan doing a ton of damage.
So much damage.
Because of his passive, I actually had to explain it to one of the people in our Discord the other day how his passive worked. And since we're not talking about him, we're going to talk about him in a later episode. Don't worry about it right now. he is good, and it's even on a physical team. You pair him up with LR Gogeta, the physical one. He's 90% of the time getting an 18 key super because of the amount of orbs. He's changing 20% of the orbs just mathematically if there's one of each orb on the field. He's going to naturally change 40%. So with him naturally being the first duel, make him a trio, and let him change 60% of the field to help out even more. And then possibly give him a 70% attack and defense. If not, they'd probably boost him up to an 80. Attack and defense, naturally.
Yeah.
But yeah, he'd honestly he could if built right, a lot of these units could be broken, but Weirus was broken when he first came out because of the amount of orbs. So
Yeah.
even if they don't change anything and just add one extra orb change, he's going to be a top tier unit. No one would deny it.
Yeah. He's still good to this
Dale.
day.
Dale, for whatever reason, does not like him in Shape Up Boo. Dale does not like good units.
Dale just doesn't understand good units, I think.
He does not. And since Dale does not listen to our podcast, he's not going to listen to us hark on him.
But I also thought that they would change the lead to 90%, key plus 3, 90%, and then his passive. I thought that they would just up it to attack and defense plus 100 and leave the key spheres the same.
And the only
I couldn't imagine 3.
Yeah, we couldn't have imagined 2. That's why I brought it up. And now that I actually think about it, there's one other theoretical thing they could do. And more people, if you're still listening to this, don't click off and let me explain. I'm sure some people clicked off like, ugh, trio orb changers. We only deal with single orb changers. With him at least with him not being a rainbow orb changer, the dual orb changing is okay. Mr. Boo is a rainbow orb changer, changes 2 types to rainbow, and that's why you've heard me talk about my spiel. I do not like an excessive amount of rainbow orbs because they take over the field.
They do.
But leave everything the same, but give him a nuking ability, attack and defense nuking ability.
Okay.
Have him, let's say, 15% attack on 15% attack and 10% defense per orb obtained. Combined with his dual orb changing, it'd be like the Tech Vegeta, Super Saiyan Blue Vegeta, and the physical Super Saiyan Blue Goku, who change orbs and nuke at the same time. He'd be a situation like that. Or have him 15% attack and defense with all his dual orb changes, because he's going to do a heck of a lot better than a unit like that. That is the only third idea I would have for him, is give him a nuking ability, because that combined with this would be a devastating combination.
Yeah.
See, Will and I, just because Dale's not here, we don't need to be humorous. Will and I know about the game. So we do have jokes in here from time to time. We have fun. But we are actually serious, at least I am, and we can actually have full-on conversations and really build a unit in our head. I feel like Dale would have been like, make him dodge!
I mean, technically, that would make sense, since it is a Whis unit, but it's also a Beerus unit, and they're known for attack, so...
Yeah, and that's just another fun thing. Just nuking would make it 10 times better. Even right now, if he had 5%, he'd be a really powerful unit. He'd probably be more top tier than I would say he is. I'm sure people out there are saying, like, he's not top tier, this other unit's top tier. But remember, like I said, this unit broke the game as a UR when he first came out. And he still ran on...
crazy.
He still ran on teams nowadays because he's not a bad built unit. His stats are okay. I have him rainbowed, so he's at nearly 9,700 defense and 13,400 attack. which at the top of the 50% on, let's take a 340% attack, he's going to be hitting like close to 1,000,000, if not 1,000,000. It's been a little while since I've used him. And then you add in link levels, he'll be hitting even harder.
Mm-hmm.
So is he on Siblings Bond? He's on Fusions and Realm of Gods. He is not. He's not even on. So Vados.
He's on crossover too.
Well, I was thinking for the Vados unit.
Mm.
A sibling, because she does Siblings Bond Universe. What does she do? But yeah, she honestly just Weirs. Plus, I like Weirs. Weirs is a neat unit, even in all just design. What does she boost? High chance of evading. Universe 6, Realm of God, Siblings Bond, and Bond of Master and Disciple. So if you're on all four of those categories that we talked about, she would actually give 80% support to one unit. That's Vados.
Mm.
But so yeah, he'd be, like we said, he would be fun. And I truly even just give him trio and or leaving duel and just giving him a nuking, he'd be set. And Will doesn't dare argue with me. Right, Will?
Anything that they do to him, it's gonna make him insane.
Yeah.
Honestly.
All right.
Like.
Oh.
Yeah.
Oh,
Continue.
I was gonna let you say your spiel.
It's just he's already a good unit, and Awakening would just bring him back to brokenness.
Yeah. All right, and before we do this, I technically have 7 on my list. My number 1 is tied with 2 units, and I'm not. And if
Okay.
and I told you this. I'm letting them know out there that I have 7 technically. If I tie, I cannot put one as number 1, number 2 because that would make one better than the other. Make one take priority over the other. So whenever we're not on that, or I'm about to say my number 2, right? Yeah, I'm going to be talking about these two. When it comes down to these two as my number 1. They are literally so tied neck and neck that they are both tied for 1, not number 1, number 2. So before anyone says anything. All right, Will, you ready for my next one?
Let's hear it.
Selza.
Say that again?
Selza.
Oh. I thought you said Felza. I was like, who the heck is Felza?
Felza. The fusion between Fat and Frieza.
So, remind me what type he is again?
He is intelligence. He's extreme intelligence.
Extreme intelligence.
And I'll wait for him to find him before I go ruining the fun of this unit. If he even has him.
I don't believe I have him.
All right, then. I'm going to start and have some fun. Selza here is a 60% 2-key to stats intelligence leader. His super is supreme damage and greatly lowers defense. And his passive, he gets attack and defense plus 70 with a high chance of another 30% attack. And he also has a high chance of recovering 10% HP at the start of the turn. So another good unit. Did you hear everything, Will?
I heard everything. I didn't process everything.
Okay, so I'll talk slow.
No, like it's just like there was just so much.
Okay.
That like I only took bits and pieces of everything.
Attack and defense plus 70% naturally.
Yeah. This is passive.
Yes, this is high chance of 30% attack for 1 turn.
Okay.
In addition, and a high chance of a 10% HP recovery on turn.
Okay.
Got it?
Yeah. Hold up. I just pulled him up on Dokkan Wiki. I'm looking at him right now.
This is the difference between Will and I. I have the units. Will sits there and looks up the units. It's okay, though.
Yeah.
So, you had me do the Weirs. Out of curiosity, how would you build this unit?
Leader, key plus 3, attack and defense plus 90.
Okay.
I would probably raise his super up to the next damage level. you could. Whew, that passive.
Yeah. For people who don't like to read, come play Dokkan. You don't have to read that much.
I mean, you probably just bump the attack and defense up to 90. But would you bump up the rest?
I would. You ready to hear what
I
I'd
mean,
say?
you would kind of have to.
Okay.
Y-
Honestly,
So,
I'll let you finish. My bad.
so attack and defense plus 90, and then high chance attack plus 50, and then high chance to recover 20% of HP.
Ooh, that's a lot.
It's a lot.
You know
But
what?
remember, this is ideal.
Yeah. Okay. I would have him naturally attack and defense plus 100%.
Okay.
With a high chance of since we're doing fusions, I'm gonna go on another little side tangent. Since we're doing fusion stuff like this, the numbers are not going to be the same because some units give this to attack and like say high attack and not so high defense. I would want him to have a high chance of additional 50% attack with. I technically want him built like the Dokkan Fest base form Gotenks. And
Okay.
do you know how that Gotenks is built out of curiosity or no?
I do not.
All right, I will go pull him up wherever he is. There he is. Let's see, base form is not, it's attack and defense naturally, but I think it's a Super Saiyan form that actually has the uniqueness of it.
Mm-hmm.
Yes, he has attack and defense. This is a Gotenks. This is. He gets 100% attack and defense naturally. He has two 50% chances of getting a 50% attack. So he could theoretically get a 200% attack on both of those things proc. And then the same for defense. So you...
Dang.
Yeah, that's how I would want Selza. I accidentally saw Kaliza. I would want Selza to be built like that. Have him with more than one proc. Let's have him not have 200 because he's honestly capable of reaching good numbers even now. I've got him to a 1.5 on Wicked Bloodline and done well. Transformation Boost and Terrifying Conquerors with Cooler and Turles. He's gotten to a 1.5. I would want him to get up to 180% attack and defense, but have one proc that is 50% attack, the other one is 30% attack, one proc that's 50% defense, one proc that's 30% defense.
Mm-hmm.
To kind of keep with that, and I would want him to recover truly 15%. I would honestly think would be pushing it. But I would want him to recover 15% HP on top of everything I just named. So have him give him the ability to get up to 180% attack and defense with 15% HP recovery. And raise attack in there too. And raise attack in there too on his super.
Yeah.
But that's just me. Someone out likes to. Did you know we actually got some hate because of how we do our podcast and how we do rank our units? Have I told you about this?
Wait, really?
Yeah, someone was out there griping that whenever we were talking about categories,
yeah,
that we did not have what was a category? What was a category? Let me actually go look. But we did not have that I was actually trying to talk down on transformation boost and stuff like that, and that we did not have what category was it? It was some stupid category. Like they were honestly trying to say pure Saiyans, that we did not have pure Saiyans. That's what it was. I say stupid.
Okay.
That we did not talk about pure Saiyans that in our favorite categories. It's like
it's not one of our favorite categories, so we didn't talk about it.
They're like, it's such a good category. The units are so powerful. It could do this, 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 and this. Yeah, you're right. However,
you're right, but the word favorite.
Exactly. I mean, truly, pure Saiyans isn't even one of my top 10 favorite categories, if I'm being honest.
Really? Wow, that's Wow. Okay.
Well, and it's also side tangent, everybody. It's just because of the lead. That 150 across is the big reason I do not like running the Pure Saiyans.
Mm.
It's an okay,
See,
it's an okay team, but it's needs a
I
better lead.
like it. I do think it needs a better lead. But still, the units in it are just so good.
Yeah, and that's why it's a good team. So I'm not saying it's a bad team. It's a very powerful team, but it's been
The lead
over.
holds it back.
Yeah, it's just been overtaken by other categories. Like Majin Buu. Like it also has harkened to the fact that said Majin Buu Saga was a perfect category.
Well, I mean, it kind of is.
It is. And people who don't even who said Majin Buu is not a power, like even on our Discord group have talked about Majin Buu Saga isn't our favorite category and probably wouldn't be one of the top, but I make a fair point. We hit every single point. We got heals, stuns, crits, dodges, counters, additionals. What more could you need?
Well, let's get back to
Okay,
the discussion for today.
but anyway, so I'm done with Celza. So yeah, 15% attack, 15% attack and defense, 15% HP, and up to 180% attack and defense.
Okay.
So let's see what Will's number one is. I'm actually kind of curious.
My number one is Physical Super Saiyan 3 Vegeta.
Ah, okay.
Was released on Global First, a Global First, but it still does not have a Dokkan Awakening.
Oh,
so
no.
the natural leader skill is Super Saiyan 3 category, Ki plus 3, attack and defense plus 50%. It's super attack causes supreme damage
Did you say
to
physical
the
in there
enemy.
too, or no?
Yes.
Okay,
And physical.
Okay, I may have just blanked out on that. Okay, my bad.
Causes supreme damage to the enemy and raises attack for 6 turns. And natural passive is attack and defense plus 70%. Damage received minus 40% whenever guard is active.
And for people who do not know what guard is whenever it's not like you put them in like defense, like they take the hit. Guard is whenever they are being attacked by type disadvantage. So this one would need to be attacked by an intelligence type unit for his guard to be active. That's why That's why he's good in Extreme Super Battle Road. I took him in Extreme Super Battle Road, and though he was taking damage, he actually is not to the point that I died. He was taking, I think it took 80,000 on Super, and that's a big difference, especially because mine is Rainbow too, so that helps out. But yeah,
yeah. They need to buff the leader skill first and foremost.
it probably
Leader
go up
skill
to
is garbage.
okay. Will I have both Super Saiyan 3 Vegetas on as my number one?
Okay, so we can discuss both of them at the same time right now.
Well, we'll talk about since this is your turn and I'm rudely interrupting. We're going to talk about yours and we can go over to tech and do that one. So we'll start on just no. Truly, I think actually I'll let you go through your spiel and then I'll say mine. I'll be quiet.
I think the leader skill needs at least to be 100%. I really think they did this card dirty with the leader skill. Passive, I think you raise the attack and defense to 100% and damage received minus 50.
I could see that. Would you add anything else in there?
Or? See, I don't know. You like that's the question. Do we want to make this card super, super, super good, or do we just want to give it a Dokkan Awakening that would make it more viable than just certain situations?
Well, I mean, he's still good even by today's standards. I take him into events from time to time, and he's not taking a whole lot of damage, especially linked up with the tech one.
Yeah, but like for most people, they're just gonna look at this unit and be like, I can only use this in like certain specific situations.
Yeah, like super battle.
For people like you and me, sometimes I don't know. I like Super Saiyan 3 Vegeta cards, and I think they did this man a little bit dirty. But
You know what? I'm going to respectfully actually disagree with you, Will.
I just think they could have. I think they did him dirty with his super and his leader skill. I think his passive is good.
Well, even then, this came out after Super Saiyan 3 Bardock. They literally just did this for a bit of fun. So you
Yeah.
weren't expected to run these two over Bardock. So that's why I'm saying he's not done dirty, because
I still he was. You're right. He also was released at a really poor time.
Yeah.
So,
but I do remember.
I don't know.
Whenever they first came out, I was hyped for them. I got both of them and got more dupes in the physical one. I preferred overall, I prefer the tech one as a unit, but awakening wise, I'd have to say them both. But I'll go through my thing. I was playing JP in the background. All right, I would honestly probably boost his stats up to, he'd be 4 key and 100% to physical and Super Saiyan 3 category.
Mm-hmm.
Let's see. Probably have him raise attack and defense for 6 turns on Super.
Mm-hmm.
And, okay, honestly, what his passive needs is 100% attack and defense, unconditionally, but have his guard be active all the time. That's why units like Tech Ultimate Gohan are good, because his guard is active all the time. And units that have...
Mm-hmm.
There's a unit I was going to discuss that was Ranfan, I believe. Let me look. Let me actually look through her passive. Oh, when guard is activated, attack plus 100%, and within the same turn, reduce damage by 40%. So that's the same situation, but you want unconditional guard to also reduce the damage. So you pair those two together, then it'd be a powerful defensive combo. He'd be very defensive. And it's very clear on how these Vegetas were built. One was built offensive, one was built very defensive.
Yeah, they definitely knew what they were doing with these units.
Yeah, they had a plan, and I'm sure whenever they eventually get a Dokkan Awakening, whenever we eventually get a brand new Super Saiyan 3 Vegeta event, they're going to get it, and they're going to stick to one offensive, one defense. So he needs unconditional guard, and with him raising attack and defense on Super, I would think, let's see. Oh, interesting. He would possibly need the ability to have a chance to do more than one attack, like Evolution Blue Vegeta. Have him say 30% chance, or Vegito Blue, have a 30% chance of him to do up to 2 more attacks.
Mm-hmm.
With each one with that 30% chance to be a super, and then defensively, he would be set. That's why units like Bergamo are good, because they raise attack and defense on Super by such a high number, and then boom, they're defensive. That's why AGL Super Saiyan 2 Angel Vegeta I like so much as a defensive unit, because he raises defense on Super. So have him do that, have unconditional guard, and the chance to do have him chance to do additional attacks, even if they aren't all supers. Have him with up to 2 more normal additionals, so that way he'd at least have the opportunity, higher chance to do 2 supers per turn.
Yeah.
And theoretically have him as a Super Saiyan 3 support. On top of everything. Because, he's a lead, not a very good lead, so if you ran him, you'd want him for his defensive, and then the support would also make him better.
Yeah.
So, you got anything else to add, or can I hop over to the Green Boy?
We can hop over to the Green Man.
All right. We're going to hop over to Super Saiyan 3 GT Vegeta. Something that never happened. Super Saiyan 3 Vegeta never happened, so these are all non-canonical cards. It's all fan fiction, fan service. But he is same lead except for tech. All stat 3 key, 50% attack and defense, and HP, and Super Saiyan 3 category. His thing is he raises defense by 30% for 6 turns as his super passive. His attack and defense go up by naturally 70%, and he gets an additional 60% for 5 turns after receiving an attack. So that's why I was saying you can very obviously see one was made defensive, one was made offensive.
Mm-hmm.
And that truly adds just the variety of it, because nowadays you have units that are offensive and defensive, and that's how a lot of units are. Like take a Cooler, not so much Cooler, but offensive and defensive. These ones were built two separate sides of the coin. They were meant to be paired together.
Mm-hmm.
But if I had to change it, it'd still be a 4-key, 100% to Super Saiyan 3 and all tech stats. He'd probably raise attack and defense by 30% for 6 turns on Super.
Mm-hmm.
Let's see. If I'd have him built, I don't want them built the same way. He'd probably attack and defense plus 100%. That way, that stays the same. He'd probably get an additional 80% attack for 5 turns after receiving an attack.
Mm-hmm.
And if I had to do it, I would not make him a support. I was originally thinking have both of them as support. That way they're given the whole rotation 4-key and 60%. That's their Super Saiyan 3 category. But then at that point, that makes them too similar, because the only similarity they have is attack and defense plus 70%. So if I would have to do it, give him a chance to dodge. Not dodge. Give him a guaranteed super attack. 2 super attacks.
Yeah, I mean, it would make a lot of sense since he's already just built for attack.
Or have him basically like Super Saiyan 4 Bardock. No, that's how I want it. Have him built like Super Saiyan 4 Bardock. If HP is above a certain threshold, you get super effective against all types. And if it's even higher, you get guaranteed critical on that attack. So have him with a passive like Super Saiyan 4 Bardock.
See, that's what I was thinking. I was thinking guaranteed critical at a certain amount of HP.
Yeah. And then you have a shield that theoretically cannot be pierced, and then you have the spear that can theoretically pierce anything. So you have these two as a 1-2 combo. That's a very powerful rotation. Even right now, this Vegeta I've gotten to a 2 million attack stat, and that's nuts since he's UR. But yeah, that's why truly the Super Saiyan 3 Vegetas need them, because they are still viable units, like the Whirus. It's just, with them not getting it, they're slowly being just pushed down the line, and for all we know, there could be 3 years, if Dokkan lasts another 3 years, before they get an awakening. We don't know what's actually coming. So there's that small chance that they could get an awakening of whatever next Dokkan Fest is on JP after year 6, that it could be a Super Saiyan 3 transformation Vegeta, or they may never get an awakening. We have no clue.
Which would be a crime.
It would be.
Honestly,
I'm going to say it. It's for a lot of these units we named, I truly feel like it's a crime they haven't gotten at least some sort of awakening, even if it's SR to SSR. Like that King Choppa. He, as stupid as it is, he needs it. You have units like Devilman. I was going to put Devilman on here, but then I was like, what would they do? Give him a 2% chance to do max damage?
Yeah.
Truly. Yeah.
All the units that we named today need a Dokkan Awakening.
It's one,
like, truly.
Yeah, it's ones that if we would think we would prefer they get a Dokkan Awakening, just because they are not bad units, and that is the amazing thing. Is, are they the best? No. Are they bad? No. It's just they've been done dirty because of the way they were built. Like I said, that King Choppa, had he been a UR with 120% attack on one attack, he'd still be talked about, because that's a lot of damage all at once. I truly feel like that's why Tech Roshi is good, because of that high attack for one attack. The Ox King, good. Kuliza, good. And I've actually been thinking about make Kuliza, like, I don't know if I said it, but did I say make him a Wicked Bloodline support?
You did.
Okay. So yeah, support. Have Whirus. Realm of God support on top of it too, if they don't add the nuking and the trio orb changing. It's hard to determine how these units could be built, but each unit can be built in a very powerful way, very, very powerful manner, because of how they were set up in the beforehand, because they are still viable before even Awakening, except the SRs. But you know what? That's SRs. It's hard to make an SR ultimately viable unless they are truly broken.
Yeah.
Hey, Will, you got some stones to summon?
I do. I have 5 stones.
Hey, I got 6! Let's see who wins. Dale's not here, even though we beat Dale last time.
Sucker.
Alright, let's see what Will gets. Are you summoning on Gogeta?
I am.
Man, I want this Gogeta.
I want him so bad. I got a Vegeta to pop up.
Okay.
No fusion.
Didn't think so.
Didn't think so either.
You could tell the hope we have.
I got the best unit in the game.
Is it a rare
SR,
oh.
AGL, Super Saiyan Trunks.
I thought you were going to say an SR AGL Frost again. I was going to laugh. Two in a row. All right, my turn to hop in. I'm also going to, just because Dale's not here, I'm also going to go do a single summon on JP, just so we at least have our 3 and we're not, Oh, I got Krillin and Trunks over here on Global. Not Krillin and Trunks. Oh, base form!
You know what?
Will?
1 second.
Well, I know what Will's about to do. I got a rare Android 19. Yay.
I'm doing another single.
Oh, Will's buying some stones. Will's buying the stones. All right, you do that, then I'm going to go collect my stuff on JP really quick. Oh!
Trunks and base form Goku.
All right, what I'm going to do now is, since we've done... Actually, I'll do it after Will, since Will apparently is already about to summon.
I just got a rare STR Krillin.
Alrighty, so time to hop in. Let's go summon for Evolution Blue Vegeta. Oh, I got Piccolo.
Could you imagine you pulled him right there? That would be insane.
Yeah, I mean, I got other stones, but we're not gonna... I got a tech freaking rare Guldo. Yippee-ki-yay, Monkey Man. Blasphemy. But thanks everyone for listening. I'm also going to put a shout out because I was recently on a podcast known as This Is You Podcast, where I did an interview. If you want to hear a little bit more about me, myself, you can go check it out. It should be uploaded this week, the 17th. 17th or 18th of this week. So, yeah. Go check it out if you want to hear more about me and some of my endeavors. And if not, even to hear about me, just go check them out. It's a really neat podcast. Now, what they do is they actually just interview people to hear about their story because they believe every person has a story that needs to be said. Even Will, they'll even think Will has some important story.
It's pretty crazy, man.
Yeah, Will finally is important to someone.
Finally.
But anyway, thanks for all for listening. And also, we're going to give you guys a treat. We finally have an outro to play. So, got anything to say before we leave, Will?
No.
All right. Stay tuned for the next, everybody. Play the music. I just realized, people, I didn't say what we're gonna do. This is after the music, so I hope you stay tuned. We're gonna do our next episode. It's gonna be a big one, and I mean a big one. It's gonna be bigger than our 2-hour one. It's a chance it could be 4 hours. I hope it's not 4 hours. Will, do you hope it's 4 hours?
I hope it's not 4 hours.
We're gonna be ranking every single Dokkan Fest that is out on Global at the time of our video.
Please listen to the pain.
And there's a lot. And what we're going to be doing is I actually put a poll out on Instagram. I've already plugged in Instagram, my Dokkan_Win_podcast. Go check us out. And we actually asked people how they want it done. So they wanted all Dokkan Fest units, which is a lot. Also, they want us to count them as EZA units and not initial release. So, I know, Will, you voted for us wanting to do them as release.
Yeah. It's alright. The people have spoken, though.
Yeah, the people have spoken. We're going to be doing our big tier list of all all Dokkan Fest units. We're eventually going to do an EZA one, too, because, yeah. But we're going to be doing them as EZA units. That way, because we say, then it'll have a big problem at the time. It's literally every era is going to be a different ranking. So, like take physical full power Frieza is going to be in the bottom ranking at base because he'd probably be higher actually. He'd probably be like a C rank if I'd have to be honest.
Yeah.
But let's say Super Saiyan 3 Goku. He'd be at the bottom because of how he was originally built. So that's why we're going to have them built as EZAs. That way they're at least comparable in the meta right now. So I hope you all stay tuned for that. We don't know how it's going to be. We could be all in one room. We do not know. But I hope you stay tuned because we're going to have some fun.
Pain.
That too.